Women will obsess over men who leave them and will never come back fully. But sometimes you show up. We always want to look attractive in the eyes of men because this is us. Let me just untangle my hair and let you know this is just how we act. This might be a toxic behavior, and I'm not here to tell men to act in this way. I'm just trying to clarify information that she is obsessed with you because you leave her and sometimes you show up, for that emotionally arouses her. Let's start with insecurity. When she is insecure, she will have a bunch of emotions when you walk away. And now that she has floods of emotions, her energy is all on you, Isaac. And she is telling herself that she's in love, and she doesn't know that it's the emotions that you caused in her. And now finally she's again telling herself that maybe she needs to act in a certain way. Be patient, persevere, for you will show up again. In the near future, Isaac, maybe you will want pleasure. Maybe you will want just to smash her. You will show up. She's going to entertain you. She's going to end up sleeping with you. She's going to act nice. She's going to genuinely show love and care. And you will wonder, she forgave me, she's in love. Again, you will ignore her texts, you will ignore her messages, you will ignore her calls. You think maybe because you do not really want to talk to her and you just wanted to have pleasure with her. But she thinks you are busy and you don't have enough time for her. So you will ignore her until you will need her again. And when you will need her again because you again want the pleasure, she will again show up. So this is one lady who will show up again and again and again and again. You will ignore her, you will show up, you will again smash her, and again you ignore her. It's just like a game. And when you show up, it's as if you're just enjoying the sexual gratification without carrying any of the load, and you behave and act as if you just deserve the sexual gratification, which now pushes her to start pleasing you so that you can again show up. So when she acts in a certain way and then you show up, she convinces herself that her behavior and persevering caused you to show up, and the persevere was worth it. And when she is in this moment of persevering, she is experiencing floods and different types of emotions, and at this very moment she thinks that she is in love and she genuinely loves you. Now the weird thing is, this lady at this time, she will never understand it as toxic. Rather, you are high value. So leaving her, concentrating on your work, ignoring her texts, ignoring her calls, will convince her that she's not good enough for you. And she is slowly convincing you that is not what is happening. Reality is you're just enjoying the pleasure and walking away. But she is understanding everything in a psychological structure that is toxic, narcissistic, just for her to persevere and convince herself that a relationship exists, when in reality it's just a false illusion. It's just a false perception to convince her to persevere so that you can go back and again arouse her emotionally. She doesn't know that it's the emotional arousal that is convincing her to stay and have a relationship with you. But the subconscious action will match with your preposition, your action, and how you are reacting towards her. I'm feeling weird, but I like it. After sleeping with Hannah, this is what she will tell herself. Isaac, is not willing to commit to me after he tested me, because maybe getting intimate convinced him that I am not worthy committing to, which communicates that you need someone better. And now she feels insecure. She questions her values, her existence, and what she needs to do so that she can be worthy for Isaac to commit to her. Because according to her, if he can't commit to me as Hannah, then he just needs more convincing, more proof for him to commit to me, which again pushes her to please you, to want you more, and to be in a feminine frame. And now she will slowly start putting all her energy, all her attention to you. So I have to act this way to please Isaac and convince Isaac that I am worthy committing to. And paying too much attention to you, Isaac, will push you away, because the obsession will be too much for you. The energy will be too excessive for you, and you won't even handle it, which will push you away, further. And pushing you away finally will again convince her to try hard, until one day she decides to release the energy and get rid of the false hope that maybe this relationship will work, and I just need to convince Isaac to act in a certain way. This is all her reality in her head, and she is acting upon a world that she has created in her head, and she will persevere until one day she decides to get rid of that energy. But now, until then, the obsession will be too much, which will cause her to feel attracted to you because she needs to try hard. You know, for Hannah, she consistently tells herself that eventually, finally, when Isaac will decide to commit to me, then I will be worthy. Like, I will feel like I am worthy if I can just convince Isaac, prove to Isaac that I am worthy committing to. She just needs that confirmation from you, and she's going to persevere until you do that. When you eventually do that, when you finally do that, trust me, she's going to walk away. She's going to dump you. But when you consistently show up and sometimes you walk away, she's in love. She's obsessed with you because of the emotions that you are causing in her state of being. She understands and defines that relationship on a perception of the emotion that you are arousing and causing in her. And I know you will say, this is one lady who has a lot of past traumas. Maybe she's suffering from insecurities. Maybe she's just lacking something in her internal state of being she is. But she's not aware of that. So your action will cause her to feel a certain way about herself. You know, the weird thing with this scenario is, for Hannah, she will even try to push herself and put herself in a position that she thinks this is what Isaac prefers. And since she's working hard, then she is the one who is committed in a relationship than Isaac is. So she is the one leading a relationship, creating a relationship, building a relationship, which is again attractive to her. So she thinks that maybe you do not like her because of a certain thing that she lacks. She will end up putting herself in a position that might cause you to like her more. And maybe that won't cause you to like her more, but that is how she perceives your way of rejecting her and not wanting to commit to her. So eventually she will think that she just needs to act in a certain way and put herself in a certain way, dress in a certain way, respond in a certain way, behave in a certain way, and then maybe please you in a certain way, so that she can put herself and present a certain image of herself to you in a certain way for you to finally, eventually commit to her. And it was worth it. Instead of using emotional intelligence to gain maybe affection from Isaac, she's going to use energy to get to Isaac, like her more, of which energy repels someone away, which raises and heightens the other person. to again come for you. I don't care. But that is just how she will act even when you are in denial. I'm not telling men to act in a certain way. I'm not telling men to be toxic. I'm not telling men to pull back. I'm not telling men to leave women then come back. I'm clarifying why you have a relationship with that lady, you walk away, you do not really want her and you mean it, but she just wants you. And one day, when you will decide to commit to this lady, because you think that maybe you can have a relationship and it can be a successful relationship, and you try to reciprocate the love and the care, this is when she will again walk away. Because she's not in love with you, she's just in love with the emotions that you arouse in her, that you cause her to feel. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with your action causing her to feel in a certain way, and she has to solve a perceived conflict that she thinks exists. And you can do nothing about this. So you can try to convince yourself that maybe you're doing this. No. Maybe she's in love because of this. No. Again, do you ever ask yourself why you might be so much, you might joke about wanting a certain lady who is that much attractive, yet you were never serious, you never really meant it, it was just a joke, you walked away after making a move on her, then you will end up finding yourself smashing this lady, walking away, but she will still get obsessed with you. Even when you just smashed her. Even when at first sight you were just joking. It's the emotion, arousal. And she relies on that emotion. She has been receiving validations. A lot of men have been validating her. A lot of men have been obsessing over her. And she is used to this. And now that you are a different guy who is showing her that you don't really want her, now it's messing up with her emotions, and she thinks she needs to fix herself. She needs to act in a certain way so that she can earn you, because there is something in you that lacks in these men who are validating her and pedestalizing her. And finally, she's just obsessed with you. You try to understand what went wrong, what happened. Nothing happened, my friend. It's just how things are. Now, I have a lot going on. I feel somehow weird. I don't know. But it's fine. It's okay. It's life. We are strong. We keep on moving again and again. Are you a new member? Welcome on board.